We demand sound.
Check 1 2. Hey everybody. Sorry about that. Seems like every time I open OBS, the sound settings disappear. This mixer exists in real life, but my computer, every time it reboots, refuses to remember it.
I hate that crap.
Anyway, hey everybody. Sorry you couldn't hear all the Chatterbait Billy is sound phobic. Sorry about that. Jesus Christ. Every friggin' stream. And stream too. I like to call it a broadcast. Stream doesn't feel right to me, but I'm also very old.
Well, we won't have to repeat that commentary we made about a Chupa grandson.
Phew.
While we were muted.
Yeah, that was a great story, and he's never going to hear it again because I'm never telling it.
Never hear it.
Yeah,
because we're never going to repeat it.
We were talking about you, Chatterbait Billy, and I'll never tell you about it because the sound wasn't on, and I'm not repeating myself because I have standards. That's right. Plus, I'm probably next week I'm putting together a lolcow related show because I'm interested in that dynamic and that economy that springs up around them. Because I think that is a fascinating subset of the internet.
Lolcows.
Yes. Not because of like who they are necessarily, but how they bring in the fans and the fact that fans, quote unquote, and the fact that they get money and make a living wage off essentially being like an ongoing sideshow on YouTube or wherever.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's wild. And but God bless them because it's happening. Like a lot of people get apartments and get to feed themselves for basically lolcowing on YouTube or wherever.
Right. Well, the dude that's eating himself to death. That's alarming. I can't think of what his name is, but like he used to be a 100 pounds lighter like 2 years ago or something, and now he's just like in a depressive spiral, and he just eats himself on his live stream. I don't watch them, but I see the memes about him and stuff. And it's just like, good Lord, that's not
Nikocado
right.
Avocado or whatever his name is.
There you go. Yeah, Nikocado or something like that.
Yeah, his story is truly tragic, and there are some people on the internet who I can't even get myself involved in, like as a spectator sport. But he's got a big following too. So yeah. Yeah.
No, that stuff blows my mind. I can't really get into the lolcow stuff too much. I don't know what. I don't think I just make the time or something.
Yeah.
But his stands out to me. Chris Chan was fascinating to me.
Totally.
But again, never really got into it. Just would watch the occasional commentary about him. Well, and just thought, wow, that's wild.
The internet spoiled us with Chris Chan because since he is she, they, whatever, I'm sorry, whatever, they are the most documented person on the internet. So whenever you want, you can log into YouTube and watch, at this point, a 60-some-odd, 45-minute a piece episode documentary on Chris Chan.
Yeah.
And it's good. I mean, it's no Ken Burns. Man. I've seen almost all of it. Shit. But like after it got weird and gross IRL, I was like, check it out.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
enough.
Because I probably shouldn't talk about it because I'll be talking about it next week probably. So let's get the show started. Here we go.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Dave and this is FFOP Radio. It's Flamingo Friday. I'm wearing flamingos as usual, obviously. We're doing a live interrogation or processing in this case. There's interrogation plus breakdown of Nathan Downhour. You also know my co-host here. You heard him in the green room. As soon as I figured out that the sound was working, Spake Salmon back on the show. What up, man?
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me, man. We had our most amazing commentary before the sound went on, so I apologize now.
Yeah, I'm so bummed. That, again, my apologies to Chatterbait Billy. Again, I'm tripling down, never telling you what I said.
That's right.
But I have not listened to the Lauren Calls Chuba grandson, Chatterbait. Maybe one day, but right now we're going to focus on Nathan Downhour. And, I realize every time I have you on, we do something TCAP related. So maybe one day if you want to stretch your legs, wings, fins, we can do a Reg's ass crime interrogation. Something lighthearted, obviously.
Okay, yeah, something lighthearted. Well, makes sense.
Because TCAP is lighthearted. It's so hard to find interrogations that are comical because the crime is pretty grim, it turns out. Like, a lot of people do a lot of terrible shit to a lot of people. So to find the ones that are like can be considered lighthearted, pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm able to groove to that one of the kid trying to act like he's crazy. That keeps looking in the camera. That's horrific, but at the same time, it's so fascinating that kid's like, "Oh, I'm so crazy. I have voices in my head." I can't think what the kid's name is.
Nick Cruz.
I'd do that one with you if you haven't already.
That one's wild. Like, they're just now wrapping up his trial. Not that we need to digress any further, but they're just now wrapping up his trial. And like, what a shit show. The defense attorneys got wrung out by the judge and all the audience members of the the spectators and the families and shit. What a disaster. But you can look into that yourself because it's everywhere. Woof.
Wow. Woof.
It was sorry about that. Said nobody, because they're all a bunch of shitbags. But again, I digress. We're gonna be watching. Right. There he is. So where we're picking up, for those who need context, is if right. Nathan Downhour was caught in Ohio, right?
Yep, he's from Indiana. He gets caught in Ohio.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back in Ohio, and you're gonna recognize. One of the interrogators is one of my two favorite detectives from this episode. And they feel like father and son. Sam, feel this with me. Do they feel related? The big, gruff, bald guy and the guy who interviews Nathan, they're like father and son, right? Or at least uncle and nephew.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I was trying to think of what the main interrogator, who he reminded me of. The other guy's kind of a more youthful Kevin James or something.
Yeah. But they definitely feel like if they were to interview someone together, he'd be like, "Oh, dad," or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shucks. Yeah.
All right, so let's get this baby rolling.
Sheriff's office. On the ground.
Oh, dude, Nathan. Sorry, I'm already got to pause this. Old Nathan here, never been in trouble in his life, dude. Never stole a stick of gum. I'm confident. Just the most mild-mannered of all the dudes ever caught on TCAP. That's my take on him, anyways. And it's just so, it's just so shocking to see this lad just make the biggest mistake in his life. And I really think that this, in the long run, affected his life deeply and was not something he easily crawled back out of.
Oh, totally. Because he was, the evangelical Christian college guy, but everybody who stays on the straight and narrow, seemingly by force, that I bet Nathan did. I bet he was browbeat into being who he was and is.
Right.
So when he finally acted out, it was so big and weird. It just, it was lightning in a bottle. And here he is, this guy never been in trouble, still having to get his face on the ground, along with the trucker with the cocaine and the dude with the penis pump and all that shit.
Dude, he's alongside them.
Yeah, he gets the same amount of gravel in his face as Shaka Khan.
Yep. Oh, dude.
Everybody's so chill. They're just watching him. He's a dead fish.
Do you understand what I'm telling you? Yes or no? Yeah. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Okay, dude. The reading of the rights here too. It's just Nathan's having a major bad day right now, and just this stranger who he can't even see behind him saying everything you say can be used against you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. You have the right to an attorney. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. None of whatever this guy's saying is processing at all.
No.
I'm sure.
His brain is a chemical cocktail of just juiced up garbage. Because yeah, like imagine you've never even, like, you know, up until now he's probably been like, yes sir, officer, like I want to be a helpful citizen, and now he's like,
Yeah.
so
It almost seems unfair to expect, if they can say, well, I read him his rights.
yeah,
He said yes, because
Yeah.
none of this is processing.
no, yeah, it's rapid fire, cover your ass, basically.
Yeah.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer.
And he still's got to read it from a card. I know, Miranda. Put the card away, man.
If you cannot afford to
It looks
hire a lawyer,
I wonder if
Professional.
that's part of the because in court they could say he was reading it, he didn't read it by a card, it was just off the
Maybe,
top of his
yeah.
head. He
You're-
made a mistake or something.
You're
Who knows?
probably right. It's probably another cover your ass sort of thing. But like,
Right.
Jesus Christ, it's 4 lines. How hard is it to remember? Even if you like fuck one up and be like, you have the right to remain silent, then you'd be like, who cares? Like, as long as you know, you're talking to a guy, obviously he's all juiced up, but he speaks English and everything. He pretty much gets it.
Look at the hose across the walkway.
Right,
I just wonder if that was strategic at all. Like, if they try to run, here's just an extra layer of possibility to stop them. Like maybe they'll trip on the hose.
I bet it's like Dateline PA set dressing, like the wheelbarrow and stuff.
Set dressing, exactly, dude. Set dress.
Before any question, you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any of these questions or make any
Oh, there
statements.
he
Do
is.
you understand?
Those are the two guys, huh?
Yeah, like
The guy reading and the guy cuffing him are the father and son that you're referring to.
No, not this guy. The one cuffing him is
okay.
the son, and the very old guy who interviews Ken.
Oh,
He
okay.
reminds
I'm
me
sorry. I
of-
thought you were talking about these two. I thought, okay, father and son. I thought, they look more like brothers to
Yeah,
me. but
these
now I
guys
know
are
who you're
brothers,
talking
and their dad is Tor
Okay.
Johnson, essentially.
about. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Walk straight to the straight car, sir.
Look at those wimpy sideburns.
Oh, I know. He tries.
Any knives, weapons, to make sign on you? What? Any knives, weapons to make sign on you? Knives, right pocket. Right pocket, there's a knife.
Yeah, I wish we could see the knife. Do we see the knife at any point?
I
No,
don't
just wonder
think
if it is.
so. I bet it's like a... Knowing Nathan, it's probably like a Swiss Army knife that he got from his grandma on his 12th birthday with his name stenciled on it. Because, I mean,
Exactly.
really, he's wearing like sweatpants. What kind of knife is Nathan going to be carrying? Like a switchblade? It's probably for
Right.
like opening packages. It's got tweezers for when he gets splinters and stuff.
Thanks, Grandma.
Happy birthday, Nathan.
Is there anything else?
All over here, man. The pat-downs are always funny.
Where's the bag for the evidence? I got his knife.
You got ID? You got this knife? Here's his ID. Here, you got it back for evidence? All right, let's go.
I think that dude that just climbed in has I think he has a mic taped to his shirt. It looks like there's a big patch of black duct tape in the center of his shirt. I don't know if it's still there when they interview him or not.
Can we get a report number?
Into our official issue Ford Taurus.
Yep. Okay, so this is interesting to me. This is not the jail.
Mhm.
This is like a processing center or something. When they go in, it looks like a like a barn almost or something.
Yeah.
But it's clearly they use it. It's not something they set up, I don't believe, just for the sting. But you'll see later they actually have to put him in a car and take him down to the actual jail. And I just thought whatever this processing center is interesting. It looks like a motorhome almost.
Yeah, I like it when you see it from the outside because it's in all the other, like it's in Kenneth and everybody from this, like their raw footage, you can see it on the outside pretty well. It looks like basically an airplane hangar or a giant garage.
Yeah.
So it's like probably a municipal building where they do clerical work, but knowing they were probably going to be balls deep in predators, not literally. They were going to be like, oh shit, we need like an airplane hangar. And good news, we've got one that is soup to nuts, like the most beautiful wooden paneling I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, and the blue tarp wall is
And
great.
the cork boards with all the random shit on it. It's like the perfect aesthetic of like, you done fucked up and we had to find space.
And the orange chair, dude. That
Yeah.
orange color of chair. What is that?
It's like it's like you got arrested and thrown back into the 70s.
Yep. If only there was shag carpeting in.
Oh, if only. I still love those prosumer cameras they buy from Target to be like, okay, mugshots.
Yep.
All right. I'm Sergeant Trissel. This is Deputy Mullen. We're the Dark County Sheriff's Office, okay? Is it correct that you're Nathan Downhour? Is that correct?
Okay, dude. The book. Okay, I can't see it if I
that
hit
the Bible?
pause, but the book looks like a book of fishing lures. That's I was trying to figure out what that book is.
About what's been going
Oh
on.
yeah, it's probably like
okay.
the backwoods master's guide to fishing or fly fishing or some shit.
Yeah.
It's like he was like reading it before they started piping in these dudes. Just check in with chat. No, Jill, no crying yet. As you can see, he just sat down, and you're probably a Boy Scout knife, probably.
You've already been ready to write, so you understand your rights.
I think so.
Okay.
You remember when we
First
read
thing
your
I need to
rights
know
when
is,
your
you know,
face was
what
on the
you're doing
concrete,
when you're
don't you?
coming here. Why'd you come to that house on 5K Avenue for? Why did you come here in the first place?
To see a 13-year-old girl in that house.
Okay.
Like, as much interrogation footage as I've watched outside of To Catch a Predator, it's so insane to me because it's another To Catch a Predator thing that doesn't really happen a lot in the wild, let's say.
Yeah.
All the predators just open up, or by and large, like 98% of them open up.
Right, right.
Whereas, like, it almost feels like clunky in compared to all the other interrogations. A rapport building is just like, okay, do you want me to read the chat or what? Just say yes to everything so we can get you out of here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And you're comparing this to other criminals that were not TCAP related.
Yeah. Like in true crime, like when they sit them down, they don't usually have the evidence that everyone in the room is aware of. They usually hold that, like if they have video footage, they'll hold that close to the vest. But like when you get arrested at the end of like a bazooka shaped and sized camera, it's like, well, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah,
do you want to deny what just happened? Like you still got grass in your hair, Nathan.
And it does seem like Nathan's the first one I can remember that's saying I came to meet a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Like it does seem like they ham and haw a bit usually before, but that's like the first thing he says to them. What did you come here for? To see a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably in that position where, like, you know, he probably had a full-blown Christian themed education. And maybe Catholic, maybe whatever, but they were probably pretty strict and he had the rules beaten into him. So these are authority figures. So he's like no defense whatsoever. There's not even like a vestige of one. He's never had a defense against anyone that is of higher status. And so that's why he's like essentially a piece of very lightly toasted toast and a slug that you throw into like the fly machine. And here's Downhour. It's like, slug toast.
What was the screen name of the girl? You know?
Katie did sings.
Katie did sings? Okay. And what's your screen name?
Green-eyed 121.
Green-eyed
I
one.
wonder if he shakes his head because he's embarrassed, like, or if he's trying to say like, I can't remember what it is or something. Because
Homeschooled
finally,
some
you know what? He's not green-eyed. He's hazel-eyed.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe he is ashamed of that lie.
How'd you first meet her?
Online.
You met her online? How long ago was that?
4 years ago, sir.
Less than a week.
He wasn't necessarily a fast mover.
Be fast.
You've been talking to her every day or what?
Nearly every day.
Okay. And you knew how old she was when you come because you just met her. She's 13, right? Right. Okay.
I wonder.
Do they all have handcuffs on during this sting? Does let's see, who else was on the sting?
Yeah.
Brinkman and Jeff Stacy.
Brinkman, Stacy, yeah, because they only take Stacy out of the handcuffs so he can sign and stick the pen on his neck.
And in his neck. Okay, I couldn't remember. And the handcuffs that they have Nathan, and we'll see them in a minute. Those seem extra painful and annoying.
And, I wonder, like, what, because this is a very tight frame here, and I wonder what the cameraman was thinking, because, like, there's not a lot going on in the room. If you're going to be this tight, I get it, whatever. But, like, why go down to, like, that nebulous, like, blob of fabric that is his body to be like, yep, that there's some hands in there somewhere. What's going on, man? Just an artistic
you'll
choice.
see, because I happen to remember this particular cameraman is all over the place, and he's probably doing his job perfectly because that what they sent him to do is to get as many clips as he can,
right?
So that when they're editing the episode of To Catch a Predator, because that's the other thing, this isn't police footage. This is clearly, because you'll see the boom mic guy in there. So this is NBC footage. And I'm certain that they're just, his job is to get every possible angle. And he does it, man. He goes in the other room. He looks from down the hall. He looks from the doorway. Like he's all up in everybody's business.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does seem very professional, but having to watch it raw and uncut just feels very like jumbled because you want to hear and see a cohesive thread or whatever. But so Chatterbait Billy says he probably thought Nathan was cute, built good. I don't know how you can tell through that evangelical Christian hoodie.
Maybe you believe she was 13.
The pictures.
Okay. She type you and tell you that, and you believe, by seeing the pictures, you believe she was 13 and everything?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, what do you say?
Well, that's what I wonder does he know right now that it wasn't a 13-year-old? Like, how does he, I mean, he knows that Hansen busted him. I don't know. It just seems like it's possible to not put two and two together and still think that you were talking to a 13-year-old and then NBC got involved or the cops got involved or whatever.
Possibly. Yeah. Cause you're right. Because these guys are walking in, and we, with the lore basically memorized, they're walking in with no context. Like the first time they see Chris Hansen is probably the first time that it's ever entered their sphere of existence.
Right.
So yeah, maybe it's, and yeah, because Shock could have been like, oh, what was that? I don't remember anything. And Chris could have been a cop. Like there are some dudes who think that Chris Hansen's a cop till like the end of their processing, practically.
Right.
So yeah, maybe he's a zombie. He's been whatever, they Men in Blacked his ass when they were shouting the Miranda rights at him.
Nice, dude.
Poof.
On the phone or anything?
Twice.
Twice before today?
Yes.
Okay. How long were your calls, How long did you talk to her each time?
5 minutes.
5 minutes each time?
5, 10 minutes.
5, 10 minutes. Okay.
This is great. Good information gathering, detectives.
Dude, yeah, it really is. Those phone calls, by the way, if anybody listening has not listened to the phone calls after this stream, I highly recommend them because they're really fun to listen to, and it's the conversation topic really feeds into the image of Nathan being a real goody two shoes. I mean, he's such a nice guy. If it wasn't for the fact that he's picking up on a 13-year-old, he's just such a Christian dude or something.
And here's my crackpot theory on Nathan. I think that it wasn't necessarily he was going for someone of younger age, but he was just going for anyone of like lower status, I think. I think for once in his pathetic, miserable, sluggy life, he wanted to be above someone or something. And he just happened to choose the exact wrong context in which to thrive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because like I don't think he was necessarily looking at her because like, oh, a 13-year-old, yummy, but she was probably the only person who interacted with him with less experience with him, possibly.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like probably a lot of these guys, but that's kind of my thought with Lauren Armstrong. I don't think he was fishing for a kid, but a kid was there and he went, oh, wait a minute, this person is dumber than me. Like I can actually be in control here.
It's like the exact opposite of like those, maybe this is just like a cultural meme, but it's like the people who are in the most power, like often are like visiting dominatrixes to have all of their power stripped from them and they get spanked or whatever. So like there's that, like that split there. And that's what I feel like with him is like his whole life, he's the cuck and he's just wanting to be a normal person for once. And he's like, oh, 13, for sure.
Yeah.
but then all the gross sex talk enters and you go, okay, something's flipped the switch.
Well, the other thing about the phone calls is there's some funny misunderstandings on it. I won't go into detail. There's when his talk of Jim Carrey is hilarious, and the one thing that you hear in other phone calls from To Catch a Predator is the decoy saying, "Do you want to hang up and get back online?" Like.
Please
And
let
he's
me go.
confused, rightly so. Like, well, why? We're talking on the phone. I don't know. I just kind of want to talk to you online. Like, it's like, what a weird thing. That's about the time you say, you know what? I think I'm good. We're done here. Like, someone doesn't want to talk, but they'll gladly chat online.
But at this point, you're like a championship skier. Once you passed 80 red flags, what's one or two more?
Yeah, that's true.
So here we go. Dubsy CC says it always makes me wonder what these guys are thinking when they talk to the cops. The first thing the cops tell you is whatever they tell you we can use against you. Yeah, exactly. Anyone who knows anything. But here's the thing: a deer in the headlights is not too far off from where Nathan is.
Right.
He's wiped, so he's not thinking straight. If he were, he'd be like, lawyer, please, even though like at this point it'd be like, hey, we got you, Nathan.
What was the phone? Did you call her? She call you, or
She called me.
okay? When was that?
She wanted to get off really quickly. I thought that was odd, officer.
Yep, exactly.
Today is Friday.
Right.
We talked about horses and Jim Carrey.
Yep. Kittens.
Tuesday, and I think Thursday or Wednesday.
Dude, I don't know. That's probably whatever, but I see him bouncing in that chair, and I would be rocking the fuck out of that chair. When I'm like nervous or bored or just like not somewhere I want to be, man, I just start to rock for some reason. It's probably some weird callback to being a baby or something. But when I see him slightly rocking, and I just imagine I would just be fucking jamming in that chair.
Yeah, it's so weird to see how people react because it's in this situation, since there is no rapport building, like it's all just here now, there's not a slow increment of stressors. And so now it's as the adrenaline wears off, his stressors are probably going to start kicking in. He's got the self-soothing rocking going on. But again, there's probably not much you can do with those cuffs on. So, rocking's what you got. You're going to rock around the clock.
Rock out with your, yep.
Number she call you at? What phone number? Where were you at?
998.
I always call attention to this crazy shit. Like all of the mundane shit that like whatever, like, oh, you talked to her for 3 minutes on such and such day, and you see him writing there. Like, when is he ever going to reference these notes again? I wonder. Like,
yeah, no shit.
Do you think when this went to court and he's like, he pulled out like a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and he's like, 3.5 minutes, Your Honor, case closed.
570.
And what is that?
Campus phone.
Campus phone? What did you guys talk about when she called?
Nathan is so thoughtful too.
What did we talk?
He does that with Hansen, where Hansen asks him questions and he'll look far away for a moment, and he's just trying to be the best little criminal, the best little interviewee as he can be.
He's like, he's like, since these guys are in authority, he's like, I need to give them the most comprehensive or like the most accurate. So like he gets that like Clint Eastwood 1,000-yard stare for a little bit. And it's like, the part where he looks the most, I don't want to say human because he looks relatively human, but he looks the most confident. Yeah. Like when he is like searching his memory banks, like he's sort of relaxes a little bit, but it's still, Randall Weems-ish.
Randall Weems, dude. Wait a minute, dude. Is that from fucking Recess?
Yeah. He's also like his nose reminds me of someone that I cannot put my finger on.
Randall from Recess. The fuck?
He looks like Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day On.
Yeah, dude. Good call, man. That's awesome. I love pop culture references, brother.
Yeah, Nathan was this close to showing up in a Ferrari Spider.
Let's talk about coming up here. No.
He's
okay.
With the boom mic.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh my
bro.
God.
That's what I'm saying. Watch the cameraman. He fucking shucks and jives all over the place, dude.
Really quick, if you're a lover of like B movies or like bad cinema and interrogation footage, this is the only place in which those two meet on a Venn diagram. Like
it's the crossroads.
Yeah,
Huh?
These bubbles touch so briefly, you're seeing the only instance.
That's awesome.
Who were you using to type back and forth? Laptop, your own personal.
I may be selfish, but I would love to see the boom mic come down and like sort of bat him in the head a little bit and like,
Exactly. That would be cool.
It's like, sorry, my arms are getting tired. I've been doing this for 16 hours today.
Now, as far as you're on your laptop, but where were you at the time? Are you in college? Is that correct? Where do you go to college at?
Taylor.
You go to college in Taylor? Are you familiar with this area over here? Nope.
Not
Where
familiar
you
with
live
the
at?
area.
Indiana. Hartford
Okay.
City.
Hartford City? That's where you're from?
Man. Here's the thing. I'm thankful. Like, if I were going to be a criminal, I'm thankful for this. Arizona is such a big state. I probably wouldn't have to cross state lines to commit any crime I wanted. Whereas, like, back east on the smaller, like, especially the eastern seaboard, like, you can get the FBI involved like that because you went 20 minutes too far.
Oh, yeah. Two blocks too far.
Yeah, all these dudes are crossing state lines, and like, Jesus, like, law enforcement loves to get nitty gritty on shit. And woof, like here, nice big state. I can travel 3-4 hours, still be, safe from the FBI, allegedly.
Right. Dude, this is the Christian college uniform, though, isn't it?
Totally.
Nice.
Okay. When you got here, what were your plans for today? When you coming to meet her?
To have to say this shit out loud, like...
Oh, totally, dude. So cringy.
It's one thing to remember, we're here to talk to you. We pretty much know what was said. Mm-hmm. We're giving you a chance to cooperate and help yourself, and us.
Help
understanding
yourself,
why.
Not likely.
Yeah, help yourself and us, P.S. That's the great thing about cops is, if you don't look into it, and wink, wink, they will always offer you opportunities to tell the truth, to help yourself, to explain yourself, to get your side of the story out there, which is all dog whistle for incriminate yourself.
Exactly. But, you don't want other people thinking that you're a weirdo, right? So come on, tell us your side of the story.
Do you want people to think you're a monster? You're not a monster, are you? This was just
I don't believe you're a monster.
You just had a week or two length of time where you were just making a consistent mistake toward a child, right? It was an accident. You slipped on a banana peel and talked to a 13-year-old for 3 weeks. Whoops.
I'm hearing. Okay. So, if you want to cooperate, tell us the story, tell us why, explain to us why so we understand why.
I mean, the why is pretty obvious.
When I came through the door,
nice place to start.
I pretty much already reached a conclusion.
Pretty much.
That this was something I couldn't go through with. Mm-hmm. I thought about the whole drive over here. And so I figured I'd just tell her face to face.
Real quick, he seems like the kind of guy, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if, like, as they were patting him down in the yard, like, an officer, like, pulls a handful of something out and he, like, looks at all the other dudes, and it's just, like, you know, every dice you need for D&D in his pocket. like throw him on the top of the cop car, like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I was just coming for a little bit of a role-playing, officer. Yeah.
Saving throw.
Yeah, this guy was going to totally show her his bard.
That time together, watch a movie, whatever, but beyond that, or maybe I should leave. I just left after that.
Maybe.
Okay. But as far as you guys'
I know,
talking back and forth,
I know.
what were your plans as far as what you guys are communicating?
Our plans, as far as we were communicating, or as far as I was thinking at the moment, was a sexual activity.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
Like, what is worse, right? Spitting game and using all the lingo for all the body parts and all the movements, or having to get clinical after the fact with literally anybody, right?
Anybody, yeah.
Like, because if you're in a situation where you have to explain away some sort of activity, you're gonna have to take that game that you spit and unsexify it to make it sound like it's just, oh, it was this clinical thing where I was like, there was gonna be some sexual activity. I was conversing with someone who happened to be a minor of age, you know, who really softened all these blows.
Exactly, dude. No, that's awful. The in the heat of the moment, you know, you're like you said, spitting your game, trying to you know, peacock for this young woman, and then later having it read back to you. They don't do too much of that in this interrogation, but the ones that do, where they're just reading back, like, you like to be used by young boys.
Seriously.
Spelled B-O-I-S. Like,
B-O-I-S.
that stuff is so cringe, dude.
And then like the realization of how everything's set in, right? Where like you go, oh no, because like in the moment you probably think, oh no, it leaked and a couple of people saw it. Whereas like, oh, it sinks in. It's like IRL in real time as you were typing it, dozens of people were up to date on how gross you were.
Oh, dude, no shit. And snickering and fucking
Yeah.
dude.
Like this wasn't an accidental leak where it's like, oh my God, the salacious. No, it was like people like, oh yeah, we're documenting it all while you're there burning one down in a dark basement. Let me check in with
burning one down.
Check in with the chatter. Amy Ramirez says, Nathan learns he has walked into Dateline investigation, to which he gives a chipper thank you, walks out, and is arrested by Dark County Sheriff's Office during his questioning.
Yeah. Dude.
Nathan strikes me as the kind of guy who could take no for an answer, but if the girl was willing, would absolutely have done it. And not think about if anything. Yeah, totally. Yeah. If she was like, let's do it. If she exerted any power over him whatsoever, that coin would have flipped. Like he would have gone from like, aha, a leg up to like, now I'm subservient to a 13-year-old. Guarantee it.
Oh.
What possible repercussions of that's actually doing it began to gnaw on my mind. I couldn't stop thinking about it. What would happen if I got caught? I was caught.
But your whole plan when you come over was to have sex. And then supposedly you changed that since before you walked in the door you decided that wasn't the right thing.
You know, it's amazing, you know, because you would think, hey, watching all of the To Catch a Predator videos, you think, well, maybe here's the thing. A crackpot could be like the conspiracy is when you walk through a threshold, right? Maybe you go, oh, God, I just woke up. As soon as you walk through any door jam, all of your sexually perverse thoughts are wiped from your body. But counterpoint, you had to walk through one to leave your apartment or house.
Oh, dude, yep.
Conspiracy busted. Called Mythbusters. Nathan has the personality of a section of sheetrock, says Dubsy CC. Agreed. Or
that's about right.
The aforementioned slug toast. Wasn't this what?
Boy, I couldn't tell you.
I think
It wasn't the third, so it could have been.
Was the third Murphy? Or was the fourth?
Oh, actually, I'm thinking Riverside, which was, I believe, Riverside was the third.
Oh yeah. Plus,
they-
here's the thing. We're gonna probably clash on a lot because, like, as far as also true crime Jack the Ripper, to me, the canonical To Catch a Predator doesn't start until the police get involved. I'm not one of those people who's
Oh, I got you.
like when I. That's what. So my timeline is fucked. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I guess mine is too. I do count all of them, even the Dangerous Web.
Yeah.
Stone Phillip.
Okay, so here's another thing too. Now that Jesus has entered into our chat room via the mention from Jill, it's an interesting tactic to me when investigators and interrogators say, you know, do you believe in Jesus? To try and be like, hey, since you believe in God or Jesus, get this off your chest. Overlooking the fact that the person who said, yeah, I believe in Jesus, like between 16 and 18 hours ago, probably had a knife 4 inches deep in someo's chest. And you go,
yeah,
hey,
totally.
What would
like
Jesus
when people say, give this poor woman some peace and let her know where her child is.
Yeah.
I just don't see. I mean, they understand it better than I do. Obviously, they're professionals, but I'm just thinking, like, the guy's a murderer. Why does he give a fuck what this woman wants to know about her dead child or whatever?
Right.
It seems like a weird tactic, but I think it does work. So
it's one of those, like, throw it at the wall to see if it sticks. But I feel like if you're a good investigator, you read the temperature of the room and you don't do stupid shit like that. Like, all the best investigators don't waste their time throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. Like, the worst example being Amy Day, who goes through fucking 4 interrogators through an 8-hour interrogation. Neither here nor there. Let's get back to Nathan.
But the whole thing was you or talked back and forth, chatted with her, advising that you wanted to have sex with her, knowing that she's 13.
I advised her.
Correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you bring anything with you to give to her? You ever didn't bring any gifts or anything like that? The only thing you had on him was a pocket knife. Is there anything else in the car?
There were some books I was going to give her.
What kind of books?
Fantasy novels.
Chip.
So sad. You know, he was rolling up in like some Piers Anthony or some Larry Niven and shit. And he's like, finally.
Ogre.
Yeah, he's like, finally, I'll have someone to talk about my fantasy novels with. So it was like icing on the cake. And here he is with these two dudes.
Totally, dude.
In the car, right?
Right.
Do you have a problem giving us consent to get in your car?
Watch this, dude. Watch it. Do you have a problem giving us consent? He thinks about that longer than anything, dude.
Thinking.
You may get into my car.
Okay, so you're giving us consent.
You may, good
to get
sir.
into your vehicle. Is there anything else in there that we should know about before we get in there?
Let's see. Clothes, bags.
And?
Under the left seat, there's a box of condoms on the.
Okay, real quick. I think we saw possibly one of the subdued stress signals of Nathan coming out. Because as he's running through that inventory in his mind, you can see it playing across his face, and he realizes there's condoms in there. And he's like, fuck, better get in front of this. So he lets out that sort of stress laugh. Like there was nothing of mirth in it. It wasn't like...
it was a breathy scoff or something, right?
It wasn't like he was recalling the memory of like his first time buying condoms from the old lady at the Walgreens and being like, what a fun day that was. It's just like, it's a...
Totally, but and then he hasn't said it yet, but yeah, he says there was a box of condoms unopened, and that was for something else. He says,
like what?
But they call him out on it.
Yeah, like
later.
come on.
Opened.
Unopened. Allegedly.
That was supposed to be for something different.
What could that have been for, Nathan?
It was supposed to be for something different.
No drugs, anything like that.
Like, did you have a science project at the Evangelical Christian College that involved condoms?
Is there any pictures on that computer we should know about? Any pictures of children or anything like that that you want to let us know of ahead of time? Any nude pictures or anything that anybody else has sent you or anything?
No.
Okay. There's no pictures of any underage children or anything like that on there.
No.
And you know what's sad? I guarantee you he's telling the truth. And his hard drive probably is squeaky clean. Like, he's probably never even, like, gotten up the balls to, like, download or torrent some porn.
Right. No, I agree with you. And it's a stark difference from most of the guys who will say, you know, if there is, I don't know about it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like there could be.
Not
okay, that
to
means
my
that equals there
knowledge.
is. I think Dustin does that one. I don't know. There could be. I don't. You know, if there is, I don't know about it.
Here's the thing. I'm sitting in front of two computers. I know that both of them, with very little to no hesitation, if you were to ask me what is or is not on it, I would be able to say yes or no.
Right.
Very
exactly.
clearly. And, you know, the terabytes of space. I wouldn't be like looking through it byte by byte, being like, did I see some lurid...
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, 1 second, officer. I'll get back to you. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Okay. So you don't have a problem us looking on your computer either? You give us consent to look on the computer?
You may look on the computer.
Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fill out a form here in a minute. Have you sign as far as consent, okay? And have you ever sent any nude images to her? Is this the only picture you've ever...
That's the picture.
With the
Have you
dog.
seen that picture before? Yeah, the picture with this husky. And it's an unfortunate choice for a picture to show her because it lines up with all the groomers and sending pictures with their pets. You know, like it's such a grooming thing to do to a child. Like, look how nice I am. Look I have a lovely pet. Wouldn't you like to play with my dog or something?
And it doesn't matter what, because it can be like, you know, Westerbeck with the bird on his head, or you get yourself a dog. Don't take anything. If
Right. Yeah, Lauren's, you know, you want to see a picture of my dog? Oh, she doesn't live with me anymore. I had to give her away.
like you can't even support a dog. What?
The only one? Oh, okay. What is your address actually in Hartford City?
0724 West.
07?
Morning, bud. Yeah, but yeah, C&J Dev, real quick. Yeah, they will totally get warrants for everything, but any common interrogation technique is to butter up or build rapport and get them to waive that right and just sign away, because just, you know, cut around the 3 weeks. But here, you know, since everything's a microcosm, it's just like, will you do it? Yeah, sure. Why not?
No.
Anything minor we should know about?
No.
Okay. Have you ever done this before? And not actually got caught? Or met a minor? What made you do this for the first time?
Boner. Sorry.
What made you come here to meet her?
Yeah, I got horny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just...
Officer, I mean, I'm not there, but if I were his lawyer and I were working against him, I would cite my aforementioned arguments, like the power dynamic, you know, the power struggle in his life, the fact that she was a willing participant. Case closed. And
Exactly.
I would carry my own gavel some places and hit it on everybody's table.
Dude, he's thinking about that one for a while too, man. Oh, there goes the
I
huff.
really don't know.
You don't know? Do you have a girlfriend or anything?
Nope.
Nope. When's the last time you had a girlfriend?
Never.
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 So you're kind of desperate?
This is like
kind of desperate.
Kind of
And then he
desperate.
follows it up with not saying anything bad.
like the punishment to infraction cosmically here is akin to this. Like a mouse sneaking into a kitchen to get a piece of cheese and being obliterated by a meteor half the size of what wiped the dinosaurs off the earth.
Right.
Like, it is just so sad for this guy to go in the straight and narrow. And yeah, he did fuck up a lot in very gross ways. But to act out just the one time, to have basically an act of God wipe you off the map, essentially, like socially and everything. Woof. Like, but it's got to happen to somebody.
Not mean that in a bad way. You haven't had a girlfriend.
Never had a girlfriend.
Hey, hot girls are
Don't
here
talk to
since
anybody, nothing like that.
I talked to some girls, but nothing's ever gone past that.
So you get talking to this 13-year-old on the internet and maybe see it as a lucky break for you to
Ooh, a lucky break.
have sex. How old are you?
23.
23. Okay.
So when she was 3, you were.
That kind of the gist of it. Have you ever had sex before?
No.
Never. So you have a box of condoms with you. You've never had sex before. The whole plan was to have sex with this 13-year-old when you got here. Correct?
Yep.
That was the original plan.
Original, but it's
So they
changed.
called him out on the condoms, which he had initially said that was for something else. Like,
Yeah,
but
but and that's the thing. Like, again, he's probably still in the subsiding waves of the adrenaline because he seems more alert. He seems more engaged in the conversation here.
right.
But I don't know, man. It's just all these TCAP interrogations are in a bubble, so you cannot look to them and be like, it's just like blank, because it's like it's seeing a unicorn that's also half a penguin. It's something you don't expect, and there
Good
it is.
analogy.
But we just got to go through it.
Did you tell anybody you were coming here today?
No.
It goes rocking back and forth. I'm telling you, dude, I would be going a mile a minute in that thing. That's how I get when I'm
This is
nervous.
Montpelier, Indiana.
These chairs look relatively comfortable, though. As I'm getting more
I
time
thought so too.
acquainted with them, I'm like, you know what? Not half bad. Like, I'm in a gamer chair right now. I've sat in chairs like this. That's, a municipal building. They were probably pretty pricey back in the 70s when they bought them.
And then he gets in the chair when he's being booked, and the chair when he's being booked is so epically just cold and uncomfortable.
City all the time. Montpelier's right next to Hartford City.
Okay.
Okay, here he goes, dude. Watch the camera. Guy.
Yeah, well. They do this with Devoot, too. Like, since he's constantly trying to hide himself from the camera, that guy, he makes that camera guy work.
Approximately 6'2", 145. Is that about right? That's what you got on here?
I don't think he was in
hazel-wise?
this specific chair, C&J
Okay.
Devs. That's regarding Stacy.
Okay.
Same
And
building.
your date of birth, 12/16 of 82?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't tell anybody you were coming here today?
No.
What was your plans once you come here, did what you were going to do, then what was you going to do?
He'd have wiped up.
Go back to college or
Dude.
Go home.
go home?
Brody.
You're supposed to be going home anyways?
Mm-hmm.
So your parents don't have any idea you're over here or anything like that?
No.
I think, speaking of that, like, because that sort of hits me in the feels a little bit. I think we've all done something or had something happen to us that really emotionally affected us, that we then had to go travel somewhere and be our normal selves again. So imagine being Nathan, coming from that evangelical Christian college,
dude.
having your first sexual experience with a minor, and then going to see your parents.
Oh, dude.
Like,
Nathan. He would have come clean,
Like,
probably.
oh God, the emotional jet lag that would throw him into would be like a tailspin of all tailspins.
Oh, man. I think you're right.
Ben finally got Jeff in the end.
So everything you've typed in here, you're not denying that it was you typing it or anything like that, correct?
No.
I will never deny
Everything's
that. sir.
factual that you typed it. How long were you planning on staying here?
The original
Original plan was maybe overnight.
Maybe a long weekend,
I
it's
got
Labor
here.
Day.
I don't know. I probably would have left early.
Is there anything else you can think of you need to advise me at this point?
I mean, what else is there?
As far as anything with this? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit here a minute, we'll get a consent form. I'll fill out a consent form. And then we'll get you to sign that. And at this point...
Oh yeah, this guy never grew up, C&J Dev. He's a mental 13-year-old. But
Yeah.
real quick, like as they fill out all these consent forms and shit, like I've been in positions where I've been a salesman or whatever, filling out paperwork, and I'm wondering every time I see something like this where law enforcement are essentially chomping at the bit to get something signed by the suspect, I wonder if they have that same feeling I had when like you're filling out a sales agreement or something like that. We were like, don't say anything to fuck this up. Just get the sale, like get that signature.
Yeah.
I wonder if that goes through their heads too. If they're just like, I don't give a fuck. Like my name is the sheriff's office.
Right.
Because it seems like a lot of them are just like, I don't care, whatever, confess or don't. I still get paid golden time because it's, after midnight.
Your car, we have that, and it's towed to our impound at this time. Okay.
Well, it does seem like they show their true colors sometimes when people are less cooperative. Like, I think I want to talk to a lawyer. Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah.
What happens next? Now you go to jail.
Yeah.
Like they throw in an extra little jab at the end. Well, now you go to jail.
Yeah, it's so wild to me that, because some of these interrogators are actually good actors, and you feel like they're getting worked up emotionally, and to see them flip on a dime where they go, "I want a lawyer," and for them to be like almost on like I've seen cases where like rage and or sadness, like tears, as soon as the word lawyer comes up, they go whoop whoop, and like all that emotion slurps away to nothing. And they like hit their papers on the desk and they go, okay, someone's gonna come and like haul your ass to the holding cell.
Up to the prosecutor. What's going to happen with the car? So that we'll have to wait, and we can answer that question later on at this point. Once we advise him what you've told us and everything else. Okay.
Never meant to do it.
All right. Well, let me find a consent form, and then we'll get you out of here. All right. 0724.
Like I'm sure that phrase is like a life preserver to a drowning man, because when they say we'll get you out of here, like I've heard that used in a million interrogations, and at any amount of time stuck in a room with two aggressive people, and that comes up, it must feel just like a breath of fresh air. But then you realize, oh, like I'm going to have to be nude to a bunch of other people and have delousing powder thrown on me, a la the Shawshank Redemption.
Right. And then hose down with a fire hose.
Yeah. You like it, piggies? And they flick their cigarettes at you.
Oh.
That was Nathan. New fish. Nathan Downhour is Andy Dufresne.
I was trying to pause it so we could see the book.
What?
I think it says law. Maybe that lower line might say law, but fuck no. Probably Ohio. Blah 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 law.
Oh yeah, so
I don't think it's fishing lures after all.
No, yeah, I bet they're probably looking that up to be like, oh, look at the exact statutes and see how many we can pile up on these people.
Right. Yep. Which is funny because we might have already gone past it. Nathan says, they tell him you're being charged with attempted unlawful, whatever, contact with a minor or something, and he says, what does that? What is that? Is that what I'm being tried with? What does that carry with it or something like that? And then like, I don't know off the top of my head. I can look and tell you later. And it's like that book's right there next to me. You can easily probably look it up.
Like, yeah.
But he just wants the signature. You're right.
Yeah, they're very interested in getting to the bottom of the truth. But as soon as you ask them literally anything, if it's not water, they'll, it's very like, oh, you know what? I actually am out of here. And they disappear.
Yep. I'm out of here.
Where's it at?
Upland, Indiana.
Upland.
What year is your car?
I believe it's a 98 or 99.
What's the zip code there?
Oh, damn it, Nathan.
What's your zip code at school?
I don't remember. I never sent out any letters from there, so I never put a
Is it
zip code.
Taylor University?
Mhm.
You have a phone there?
You right or left-handed?
Whoa.
The cop had a can of dip. I saw that.
Oh,
In
yeah.
his back
Go ahead and
pocket.
stand up there.
Copenhagen. I'm sure it sells like gangbusters out here.
Go uncuff your right
Yep.
hand. And then I need you to just leave your left hand behind you, okay?
Watch this. Okay, the cop says,
Oof.
I'm gonna uncuff your right hand, leave your left hand behind you. And then he makes a mistake. And Nathan's like trying to be a good guy. That's my left hand.
Hold on, man. Okay. You pen laying there?
That's my right hand.
Oh, yeah, use your right hand there. Sorry. Stand behind you. Sign right here and signature.
Hey, that's right.
Look, okay, those cuffs though, right there, dude. Those have to be the worst. They don't have a chain between them. It's just fucking stiffness, dude. They got like a 6-fingered hinge between them.
Like handcuffs are one of the most insane police props there are, because there are like these ones, there are the colored ones, there are the ones with the actual chain, and some departments only use those big zip ties.
Yep, that's right. Dude, they should use Chinese finger cuffs.
Oh man. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Like a meth bust and like all these like tweakers with like just 5 Chinese finger traps on, like in the back of the meat wagon. Oh, in a perfect world.
Brad. Yep.
What's the date, Sean?
24th.
Look how slow and carefully he's signing it too. He's like,
Yeah.
this is an official document.
You pen behind you?
He's not reading them though. He'll sign them, but he won't read them.
These cuffs all right?
Oh, they're great. Thanks.
Huh?
A little tight, but they're supposed to be.
Can I get the orange ones?
I get a finger in there. I get a finger in there, okay, bud? We're
Ugh.
on a double lock it. Did that tighten up on you?
It's a weird thing to hear with no video to follow it up.
What's that?
Put that finger in there. I'll put a finger in there.
Yeah, room for 2 fingers back here, Nathan. What are you complaining about?
I'll put this back in your front pocket. You take this with you.
Stand up. And I still have your knife in the car, which will check that into your property. Alright.
There's that black tape on his shirt. I don't know what that is. I guess I wasn't sure if they
Oh, I
if he
wonder.
still had it in interrogation, but
Yeah. Huh.
because it's not something hanging there. It's like
Yeah.
some tape there.
Since this is all like super low res, it's impossible to.
Right.
Oh, they're walking
And
into the
then-
sun.
The blowout from the sun. So here he is at the at the booking station. No, I mean not at the booking station. At the what do you call it?
Processing
What-
station.
Processing. No, I think he's at
Like
the actual
the jail.
the jailhouse here. Yeah, the jailhouse here. So he left whatever that other building was, and now they're here, and you can see there's a big roll up door right there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I love their hilarious little check-in process.
Those guys look like they give each other a look and a snicker too, right there. Like they close the door and then kind of scoff or something.
Well,
There we go.
who knows where this is in the timeline? They probably could have already had Stacy and his pen shenanigans and Juggle Mania with his that's
Yeah,
normal for
that's
chat.
true.
So they're probably like, what the fuck is this guy? He's like, is he dead?
This chick's got the mandatory
You go ahead and
scalp tightening bun,
Oh god,
hair
yeah.
bun.
imaginary box right there against the wall, and I'll get a couple pictures of you.
Where's the box? It's imaginary. Am I supposed to imagine it, officer? My tax dollars don't pay for that.
You guys don't have enough money in the till to make a box.
Never get any tape? And look at the tripod that $150 camera is sitting on.
Dude, that is weird.
Your last name?
DOWNHOUR.
That was like someone's weekend project.
Dude, that tripod is fucking gargantuan.
It was like they probably got pulled out of a hospital they tore down. It looks like it should be holding some sort of monitoring device.
Right.
Look at that fucking Windows 98 desktop. The rolling hill in the clouds, that brings me back.
Yep.
And mother's maiden name?
Myers.
Boop.
M-Y-E-R-S.
Okay. I need you to turn and face that wall real quick. You should face the door. Just need to get a side shot.
You get one of your head and one of the tip of your nose.
Okay, I just need you to turn and face that the opposite way now.
Like at this point, I can sort of see on Nathan's face, like he's now checked in fully to the situation and can, because he's a pretty sharp dude. He understands patterns, and so he's ready to do what they are asking him to do. But these people are so used to dealing with like meth heads or whatever, people who don't listen. He's like sitting there waiting for the okay, like a good boy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like when the cop said, I'm going to unlock your right hand. I want you to leave your left hand behind your back. And like he pulls it out, and instead of just saying, oh, yeah, guy fucked up or whatever, he's like, hold on a second. That's my left hand. Like he wants to make sure they're all on the same page.
He's like, yeah, it's so funny. Like he's as willing as they are to go through this process, but they're still like on autopilot. Like, and he's putting up no resistance, but they're like, come on, turn this way now. And he's like, I'm already that way.
Yeah.
Okay, you got any scars, major scar marks, tattoos? Nothing? Okay, go ahead and have a seat
I got
there.
WWJD written over my butt.
There's this chair, dude. I don't know. Maybe you can't see it when I pause it.
It's pretty
that
rough.
Chair, it's upholstered by the same people that do school buses, I think.
Oh, so yeah, it's like that pleather vinyl crap.
Yeah, dark green, like that olive drab green or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it looks heavy too. And he says, make sure that chair stays up against the wall.
Date of birth?
12.
And it's so funny too. Like they give him the old song and dance when they issue him all their prison garb. They say, "This is your prison garb. Don't fuck it up, or we're gonna charge you for it." And I'm like at this point, like, why are you telling him that? Like they're scared beyond belief if they're going to jail. Be like, yeah, and if you shit yourself, we're charging you.
That's right.
Like, give me a break, dude. You can't get another orange jumpsuit.
And what state?
Indiana.
And your current address?
Okay, so oftentimes I like to stop in these behind the scenes to notice good camera work. So it's interesting here that when he could be just shooting wide open and flat, he's got the iris stomped down pretty far to get some nice depth of field. So we're seeing that interchange between the officer and Nathan there. And it's something that I like to point out because it's something you would not see today. It would be shot flat and no one would give a shit.
Here's the other thing, though. This is probably also not the same camera guy, because why would they have him travel back and forth, right? So they got one stationed at the booking place and one stationed at the jailhouse. So this guy's just a guess.
Yeah.
Probably got more experience or something, and he's just better at his job.
You're probably you're probably right, because I've in the like the Jeff Stacey processing, that had some really artsy shots of like the processing hallway and like his feet. Like it seems like this dude knows what he's doing, and it's stark contrast to whoever they put in the airplane hangar.
Right. There you go.
It's weird what they will mute and what they won't, because we heard his mother's maiden name earlier.
Yeah. Yep.
And okay, so we know that this lady, she's married, or at least engaged.
Montpelier, Indiana.
There's the mic again.
And her patch says corrections, and say okay, it does say deputy sheriff.
And the zip code?
Okay, my bad. I thought it just said corrections on it.
And the phone number there?
$998 something.
We just heard it earlier. Yeah, you're right. That was weird. Why are they bleeping? Or like, it's weird. Who's in charge of this?
Yeah, any children.
There's a boom mic guy.
Yeah, he's like, get out of the frame. See, now that's an artsy shot. Like the receptacle here in the foreground. It's very stark. Like it's slightly Dutch, so you can see. Oh yeah, things aren't as they should be here. Like there's a lot of implication you can take.
Yeah, there's another one coming up here too, where he tries to get a shot of Nathan through the hallway doorway, but he realizes he can't get him, so he goes back in the room. But just the angle that he has, it makes it like it's a good shot. Like if it was a photograph, it wouldn't. It almost seems like it wouldn't work because oops, you got this door jamb in the way, cutting into the image or something. It's such a good. It's such a like what you would come to expect from interrogation footage or something, or booking footage.
I think I slightly disagree. I think this would be a great slice of this would be like in a Time magazine about the prison processing system. Like slap this in black and white, like up the contrast, and it would be like, you would see this in like how our prisoners are treated. There's poor Nathan.
Yep. Education completed.
Some college.
I'll be able to put that on my resumes from now on. Some college.
Yeah, I don't think he ever goes back and finishes. He ends up in a recycling center.
Taylor? You're going to have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Taylor University.
I went to DeVry.
That's right.
Ever been in the military?
No.
Any problems
With that physique? Come on, Nathan, you're kidding me. It was a Green Beret. Green Beret 121, am I right?
Yeah.
Any other names?
No.
Are you working?
Yep.
Not at the moment.
I am being booked.
Yeah. I was being a good student. Zzz. Nathan's getting all tuckered out. I would be too.
Are we boring you, Nathan?
I think we've all been there though. Where like you're in the deepest trouble you've ever been in. You feel a yawn coming on, and you stifle it because like I don't know.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Every time I was getting yelled at when I was at any point in my life where I was in deep shit and I felt the yawn coming on, I would always hold it because I felt like somebody would like jump down my throat if I yawned.
Right.
But it's a natural thing, so I don't blame him. Plus, I'm sure he's been burning a bunch of calories in stress overdrive.
Right.
Here's all the shit that if you bust, I'll charge you. Get some glamour shots of his tiny toothpaste. Huh.
What color are your eyes?
Hazel.
Not green?
He's such a liar.
Finally, it comes out in real life.
And your height?
Yeah.
6'3".
Now it's documented.
And your weight?
165, 160.
Dude, 6'2", 165, man. He's got me.
Glasses
He's got me
or
beat them
contacts?
both.
What hand do you write with?
Right.
You can read and write?
Yes.
Mostly. At some
Scars,
college.
marks, tattoos?
None.
I wonder if this room is kept cold. It's a common, it's common knowledge anyway, that like most interrogation rooms are kept super cold or in some other way uncomfortable. But it feels like this would be unnecessary because you're not like wringing them out of information anymore. So it would be just like for the pure fuck of it.
Right. Yeah. No, I see what you mean. It doesn't sound like why torment the employee now because the dude's already busted. If he's at this stage, he's going to jail. So
yeah, it's not because like half of me is thinking like, oh, that kind of looks like a cold self hug, and it's kind of like a scared self hug, but I can't tell. Guy, the footage is not there to see the goosebumps.
Right.
But I can't see R.L. Stein from here.
he was looking up something else.
Fuck, I love breaking down clerical work.
Yeah, definitely, dude. You see the way you put that file in there? I think there's something going on between them two.
Do you think she has to dial 9 to get out, or is she like, carte blanche?
That's right, dude.
Oh, Nathan.
Dude, just as bad as or just as it is bad having your best game read back to you, in such a cringy moment. How bad is it to be friggin' booked and processed with NBC just filming you from all angles, dude? And that the boom mic guy, he's always right there. So how many times I wonder, does Nathan make eye contact with the boom mic guy?
Yeah, and it's another thing that always gets me about these sort of things when you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm of two minds. If you want to be easy on the prisoners, I would not staff any position in a corrections facility with anyone who's like a 7 or above, like in the looks department, because it would imagine like his Nathan is sitting here across from a fairly attractive young lady officer, but imagine if she was like a 10, because I've seen that before where like you're being processed by someone who chose the wrong career because they could have like nailed it out of the park with the looks.
Right.
On the other hand, I wonder if we should just staff everybody. Like if you need to be a cop, or if you're going to be a cop, you need to have a gym membership. You need to be cut. Like you can have your bulk up and your lean season and make them all like Adonises to make everybody feel that much worse about themselves.
Oh, dude.
Plus, that's
the fourth into that, making those rules.
Like, because that'd be a double-edged sword too. Because like on the one hand, you're making the schlubs they have to arrest feel bad because these people have like 12 packs. You can see them through their cop uniforms. But on the other hand, if anyone tries to run, you're gonna have like these Arnold Schwarzenegger style figures running through the streets, like grabbing them up like no problem.
They're all Chads.
Yeah, like have a bunch of Giga Chads with their little cop hats on.
Giga Chad.
Like whatever the Giga version of a lady that would be, In a perfect world, people always talk about improving the law and order or the criminal justice system. Let's start there.
Let's start with the looks.
It's trying something, but it's not working.
Cornville, what's this? Corrections. That guy had a corrections pad.
Yeah, Dayland's gonna really want this footage. Whoa! A Nautilus quartz? Dad cop with the mustache shows up to get her up to date on Windows 95.
His mustache is required just as much as her hair bun.
Yeah. He showed up to tell her she needs to defrag the hard drive. Now he's going to go back to his office, have a cup of coffee.
Dodge Neon.
Was it a Dodge Neon?
Yeah.
What year?
Classic.
1999.
Those are fast little cars. I had a friend who had one.
And the color?
White.
Interesting. He said 1999 pretty quickly. He told the other cop 1998 or 1999. He must have just decided to settle on one because I'm fucked anyways.
Yeah, he's like, screw it.
Tack on more time because I was off by a year.
See, look, he's starting to really relax into his position. His legs up, his arms have dropped considerably, his shoulders are loosening up. Like,
yep.
Here's the thing. After a while, no matter how high stake the situation, the stress hormones have to die away. And so when you're one of 5 people in a room and they're all acting casual, like, look at my dude over here leaning up against the file cabinet. He can give 2 shits. Like, eventually that's going to soak into everybody. And, like, give it enough time. Like, if they had more computer troubles, like, eventually they'd be ordering a pizza and, like, Nathan would be talking about how much he loves, Taylor College or whatever.
Right. She's trying to get that angle, but he just couldn't get it.
Yeah, he can't do it.
Hallway doorway.
Yeah, I agree. Seeing J-Dub.
That chair, dude. That chair is just
disappointed.
epic, though, man. It's like a what, not angle iron, whatever that's called, like, square
Yeah.
rod metal, and that thing probably weighs 60 pounds.
It's a chair that says you're in trouble.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Like if you're in trouble with a piece of furniture, his ass is on it.
Yep.
Because your knee is on everything, he says.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Neon. Good one, CJ Dev.
That was pretty low to the ground. I can attest. We're having TPS problems with our printer. I got to call our maintenance guy. He's going to come down. It'll be another couple of minutes. Don't worry about it, Nathan.
Arthritis.
Yeah, you got arthritis, Nathan?
No, ma'am.
Withdrawal symptoms.
No, ma'am.
Withdrawal symptoms.
No, ma'am.
Epilepsy.
No, ma'am.
Pain spells.
No, ma'am.
Physician prescribed diet.
No, ma'am.
Urinary tract problems.
Oh, here's another thing I thought up. I'm running up your flagpole. This might be cruel and unusual and along the lines of semi-torture, but like when you're, because a full-blown real tactic that the police use is like they will put someone in an interrogation room and just let them cook by themselves because we're our own worst enemy because the things that are going on that we don't know about are zoomed up in our heads. My thing would be like selling either CDs or cassettes of like horrifying prison noises. Remember when you go to like a Party City back in the day and get like a Halloween CD?
Right, yeah.
Like just have like slamming doors or like sirens going off sporadically or like big dudes going new fish or like banging with like cups and shit. Just like
people whimpering.
Yeah, just like not always and throughout, just like something sporadic that just plays through the door into that room where the dude or dudette is sitting, freezing their ass off, waiting for the detectives. But yeah,
Dude,
no, that would be
good.
That would be totally psychological torture. But if it were me, I would do it because it'd be fucking hilarious.
Yes, exactly.
Ulcers. Crohn's disease.
No, ma'am.
Ever tested positive for AIDS, tuberculosis, or hepatitis?
No, ma'am.
Any type of heart or high blood pressure problems?
No, ma'am.
Being treated for mental health problems?
No, ma'am.
You ever tried to kill or harm yourself?
No, ma'am.
Feel depressed or suicidal?
Depressed? Yes.
Depressed?
Suicidal?
Yes.
No.
I mean, I've had better days.
Dee Dee and I were discussing Nathan and Sanyo. Maybe he's on Prozac or something, but at least as far as the questioning goes, that doesn't hold up because she says, have you been treated for mental illness or mental health? He said no. Have you ever been depressed or suicidal? Depressed? Yes. Suicidal? No. So I don't think he's actually on medication, but his demeanor is just so sluggish.
I think he's self-aware enough to realize that he can't be angry at anyone because like a lot of people will come into these situations and be angry because they'll play the victim card, flip the responsibility back onto the system, and then just be, spiteful. I think Nathan knows exactly where he is in the food chain. And so instead of putting up all the bluster and being like, you just depressed immediately because we're like, there's one stop on this bus route if you're taking this, this path.
Yes.
Are you on any medication?
No, ma'am.
Enema medication?
Any other medical problems?
No, ma'am.
No surgeries or anything within the last year?
I blew out my ACL, so now I can't go pro, dog.
That's right. That's what I blame it on.
I was the best Christian football player ever.
CJ Dev says he's just disappointed. He really is.
Yeah.
He's
gray sweater.
He's disappointed in his behavior.
Blue shirt.
That's the thing, man. I'm sure he's more disappointed than anything because since he's a human, he's probably watched any number of people in his life pull shady shit and just get off scot-free because that's how most of us do. Like, most of us will pull something that we know is hinky, but we do it anyway because we know we can get away with it and or the stakes are so low, it's like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
And that's what's so tragic about this, too, is I'm sure he was seeing that and be like, yeah, why not me? He's basically the song Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Like, that song is Nathan Downhour. And it's so sad.
Nice, dude.
And your briefs. Sound good? And then I have $39.76.
Hey, Jeff, I'm putting your dollar in the safe.
$39.72. That was the original plan. Oh, Nathan, there he is.
Those low res like DMV photos.
And look at that. Okay, so the photo from when he looks right, there's like an inch or two below his chin. When he looks left, the chin's right at the bottom of the frame. I just like what good's the tripod, guys? Come on, really.
Yeah, this is a weird point in history where like digital cameras were cheap and okay enough to be put into places like this. But looking back on it, like with today's standards and everything being high def and 4K and shit, it's like with the benefit of hindsight, this looks like the clay tablets of Hammurabi. Like looking at Nathan there and his low res pixel ass, you'd be like, what is he, an 8-bit character from a video game?
You're going to give us permission to search your car. We need you to press this tool into this clay here. Thank you. To give us your signature.
Yeah, they give him a piece of straw and he bats at a piece of wet clay for a bit. And he's like, yeah, that's my jam right there.
Jam, dude. Oh, it's goofy.
Step right on over here. Pretty easy.
Oh, famous
Just
last
explains
words.
me-
He has so much
explains
trouble
to you
with
what
this. Dude.
I need your right thumb, and I'm gonna put it right on there. Take that. You just want to step back.
Down there.
Relax. Just relax your hand. I'll do all this, and we can get through this pretty easy.
Relax your hand. I'll do all this. He was going to say that to her earlier.
And your left thumb.
That's right.
I mean, this is probably the only point that can be arguably enjoyable because he's getting a mini hand massage for each finger.
Like that.
Yeah, I was thinking too, like, just the interest factor, like, oh, look how that works. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can see my fingerprints there on the screen. Like, he's actually, gets to experience something that you never get to experience otherwise.
Yeah, he gets, this guy seems like to have a nice, gentle but firm grip. It's like probably akin to like getting a haircut. It's interaction with another person. You go, yeah, it's mostly positive. I'll take it.
It's like it seems like they don't give them much room to work with,
right?
At least not with Nathan's hand. Like, let's increase the size of that box a little bit.
I don't understand why, like, this stations, all of their technology makes as much noise as like police technology on TV and in the movies.
Right.
Like, we all know that's a bunch of horse shit. Like, computers aren't always making like buzzing or whirring noises, but I'll be damned if we're not seeing that very thing right here.
Exactly. In fact, if you pay attention, every time you hear it go beep, 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 that repeated beep is telling him it's not accepting it, and it just happens over and over with Nathan. Poor Nathan. It's just,
yeah, and
we'll try it again.
It's like incompetent NCIS.
Yeah.
Like one of them is trying to hack the mainframe, the other was like, doy.
Okay, now I need your right thumb. Actually, what I'm going to do here, you just need to relax. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to roll it all the way across the screen.
Roll that baby.
Pick up.
Oh, now this one. See, just looking at this, it looks soothing.
It does.
I mean, it's often overlooked, but hand massages are a real thing, people. I suggest them.
Oh, dude, they'll knock me out. They're so comfortable.
Because you use them all the time. Give these dogs a rest.
Beep, beep, beep.
God damn it.
Just smudged a little bit, and the system didn't like it.
We'll wipe it off there.
And Nathan's probably the kind of guy who's like trying to help this dude out.
Right.
He's like guiding the dude's hand a little bit for him. Well, he's getting in it with his shoulders. Nathan's a helper, man.
Watch it. Watch when they roll. They lift off. Like after they roll it, it's like they are really getting into it, man.
This is like the lowest energy Dancing with the Stars I've ever seen. God damn. System update. Ah!
Try it one more time. I'm gonna roll
Try
it
one
this
more
way,
time.
Come back this way.
Beep, 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 beep. So fuck. If they got a camera on me, I'm looking like I don't know how to do my job.
Yeah, like snap zoom out, and this is like one of those self-checkouts at the register, and there's like 3 more pairs of like police officers and suspects like, hello, I don't have all day. Like
people storming off, like leaving their fucking prisoner behind because they don't have time for this.
Please return finger to printing area.
Yeah.
Don't forget your receipt.
Okay, now I need your left thumb.
Oh, Jesus, here we go again.
Hand.
Beep, 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 beep.
Kind of looks like they're playing Atari here.
Pong.
Yeah, Cheddar Bay Billy. This is the pudgy guy's first day.
Yeah. This counts as losing his virginity.
Oh my God.
Not acceptable. I wonder why that is. Like, what the fuck is it? The software? Is it Nathan's fingerprints? Like you said, Nathan's helping him out. He's not trying to.
I just think this guy is not good at his job. Like,
yeah. I want to hear the guy say, "Quit struggling.
Quit resisting.
Would you stop struggling? Stop resisting."
Yeah, and then see the girl cop behind him like shoot up and be like, "Stop resisting!" They tase him in the back. But then Pudgy Cop was still holding him, so he got juice too.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Does it work that way? I wonder if it does. If you're touching someone who gets tased, do you vicariously get tased?
Probably at least a little bit, because the voltage is traveling from one lead to the other in the taser, so it's a very short distance. But yeah, a little bit is probably bound to leak out to go the path of least resistance through your ass to the ground.
Take it this time, that's it.
Beep, 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 beep.
Jesus Christ, man. This guy. Sorry, we never had video games when I was growing up.
Okay, now I need your right lower palm.
He wasn't convinced it was going to work. His face looked like he was like, I don't know.
They're going to print him all the way up to the armpits.
Okay, don't move your fingers when we do this.
And like, I'm not a expert on this machine, but it would appear to me that like a light touch would be the way to go. You wouldn't want to compress the ridges. Like, let's say a fat cop puts both of his hands on yours and smashes it down, so we get to hear that beep, 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 beep every time he fucking does it.
Dude, look at Nathan here, though.
So sad.
Nathan, so much has changed here, brother. And I wonder what that is in the bin there. It looks like there's another uniform. I guess maybe you do get more than one.
Yeah, they probably give you a couple.
In case you crap one.
It looks like a Fruit Stripes prisoner.
Yep. The flavor don't last long. Dude, those shoes. Those are molded a single press of the lever, just blurb into a shape, and there you go. There's your fucking sandal.
When I was working at a record store, I was working alongside a guy who had an extreme DUI and spent some time out here in the, we've got a big prison out here in Bullhead City where Joe Arpaio basically makes everybody live in a tent. And keep in mind, it's Arizona and it's hot.
Hey, I thought that guy was cool. Yeah, that's good.
So
I like his
plans.
plans.
So my buddy, when he was doing his DUI, he was in Tent City for like 9 months. And those shoes that he is wearing right there are the hottest commodity around because they come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. Most people are a medium. And when they run out of medium, you get large or small. And if you don't sleep with them under your tongue, you wake up with the wrong size at the foot of your bed.
Oh, dude.
But it's like,
you learn quick, huh?
Yeah, shit that you would get stabbed for. Shoes made in China for 3 cents a pop that come in 3 sizes.
Oh, dude. Dude, he has accepted his fate.
Right. And like at this point you have to be thinking like, where am I going to be sleeping? At a certain point, no matter what happens in your life, eventually all that's going to drain away and you go, where am I going to lay down for the night? Like he's probably fucking exhausted. Oh.
Did she just titter? It sounded like the woman tittered. I was like, that's the last thing you want to hear when you're being fucking booked.
T.
Yeah.
Call somebody, let them know you're here. Maybe call an attorney.
Maybe.
Right there's the phone. Go ahead and do that. And it's okay.
Nathan gives up his phone call, and first of all, it's funny. The guy's like, hey, you probably should call an attorney. What the fuck's he gonna get an attorney?
Exactly.
What's he just know like he has an attorney to call or something?
Yeah, like you
and then
pick
the other
up
thing
and dial
is,
zero.
do you want to call someone and let them know where you are? And Nathan says no. Like he's just so ashamed.
I don't blame him for that because, like, yeah, you're right. That like those are the two things that I think every time I watch this is like, who knows a number to a lawyer? Like,
right.
Number one, and number two, like, what's he gonna call his mom? Like his parents? Like, if I ever get hooked up for anything, be it what, no matter what the case, they're like, hey, do you want to call someone? I'd be like, no. I'm going to pretend that I'm dead.
I'll work through this.
Yeah. Like, this is some time to work on me. And I think I'm just going to really exploit that while I'm in jail.
But get the picture in your head of Kevin Westerbeck, which I guess doesn't really make sense here, except for the people that know what I'm talking about. Of Kevin Westerbeck leaning over on the counter on the phone, like he knew exactly who to call.
Yeah, like he had his little half glasses and shit, and he was like chewing on the end of a pen, like trying to. Yeah. Like he looked like a veteran accountant playing poker.
Oh, totally, dude.
It's wild.
Yeah, not Nathan.
Well, Nathan didn't have a bird on his head.
I don't know where you're at. Okay.
Here's all the shit I don't want you to break.
You're allowed to call. If you wanted to call your attorney, that was fine. You can do that now. And you don't want to do this not
Ooh.
Okay.
If you get any blood on that uniform.
Like if I got, hooked up or arrested for literally anything, and I were in his position for literally any crime beyond TCAP related shit, and I was in his, even his same age bracket, like I'm 23, I get picked up. The only lawyers I know are the jingles I hear on TV. So I'm going to be like, hey, get me Jacoby and Myers, get me Phillips and Associates. And these are all just like, whatever, traffic violation lawyers, but that's who I would call given my druthers.
Absolutely.
And like, I'd be like, hey, Phillips and Associates. They're like, hey, do you have a DUI? I'm like, no, I got hooked up for something way worse. They're like, can't help you. Click.
Yeah. Dude, lawyers always have the best phone numbers too, don't they? They're such, it's either going to be 222-2222 or just some rad little jingle, some easy rhyme.
Ours was always had legal in it. So 877-96 legal. Jacoby and Myers.
You see, it works.
Yeah, Hastings and Hastings have been here for fucking 400 years. He doesn't look a day over 300 though.
Nice.
God, talk about an emotional hangover, like just in general, because I have to imagine this post-processing, whatever process is not unlike most places. So when you're watching all the true crime stuff and the interrogation stuff, and everything is getting hot and heated, and the interrogation either happens or it doesn't. There's a confession, there's crying or whatever. All of those are always preceded by like this 4-hour slog of sitting in this chair, moving over here. And so I can't imagine being in that mindset, being emotionally wrung dry for anywhere between 1 and 20 hours. And then having to be like, do you have any STDs? What size shoe are you? Like, let me touch your hands a whole bunch. Like, Jesus.
Oh, no shit, dude.
It's like a fish. It must be akin to like when you see those factory fish farmers like on dirty jobs. You see like the fish having moved from tank to tank through a tube and has no idea what the fuck is going on. That's how I feel Nathan is. He's like a carp in an Alaskan fish farm somewhere.
Oh, totally, dude.
That poor bastard. She's going to have him sign his fingerprint sheet because it's going to be worth money one day.
I was thinking of this too. Like, she says, make sure everything's correct.
Those are your fingerprints.
And I just want to see him like hold his hand up and like compare the prints. Like, okay, yeah, that one looks right.
Right. Like, obviously, no one else was there to take prints, so they couldn't get fucked up. But like, imagine being in that situation and being like,
yeah.
I guess this ridge is
you
mine.
signed it. You signed it, and these are the prints of this serial murderer. So, well, you signed it. You had
Those aren't even my whirls. The ridges are mine. The whirls not.
Oh, you got all the terminology. True crime nerd.
And my basket of sadness into my holding cell.
Oh, dude, secured area.
Get in there, you filthy Nathan.
You push, all right? You push.
No more cameras. Get out of here.
Oh, the last shot, dude.
So sad. So sad.
Oh, man.
And that's where we're going to leave. Poor Nathan.
Awesome, brother.
What a trip. And the fact that, we get any of this at all is nice, but the fact that we get so much more than would be, because in an interrogation room, it's just a static camera. I feel like, again, it's lightning in a bottle because we're so spoiled.
Yeah.
With all this crazy stuff.
Yeah, you don't get the uncut booking of serial murderers and stuff. I'd love to have all that.
There's one interrogation I watched where it is literally 4 hours long. It ends in tears, and he has to stand up and then go through all of this shit. And I would love to be a fly on the wall for that too.
Yeah, because he's already gone through hell, right?
Right.
He's not going to get to bed for a few more hours.
It's a weird roller coaster ride where you only get up to purgatory. Like Chris Hansen and the interrogation was hell, and then it's like a dip up into that purgatory of fingerprints and that weird finger massage, and then back into hell when they start shouting for new fish. Boy, oh boy. But let me tell you what, Bank, this was super enjoyable, and I thank you for coming on the show, my man.
All right, brother. You know what? You're the king of this of TCAP TCAP. Well, not interrogation, but what's the word I'm thinking of? I just love doing these with you. The whole review process. I love your take on stuff. You're like a if Zoe Mob was from Arizona. That's my take. I don't know if you ever watched Zoe Mob, but he has clever takes. He does a whole series on the boom mic guys on TCAP that's worth seeing.
Because it's kind of,
anyways.
If you have to watch it up, all these characters are real characters. On a show they would be an NPC, but we're watching it. So yeah, the boom mic guy would have probably a bunch of shit going on in his head.
Exactly, dude.
Breakdown
analysis. That's the word. You're the king of these TCAP analyses, man. I love doing them with you because you always make me think, and you really have the sharpest mind, west of the Pecos, I believe, when it comes to commentating. I know you're making references and analogies for these guys, and it cracks me up. So thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. It's always a blast because you have, where I have more of a superficial knowledge of how just what everything's going on. You have the deeper lore knowledge that I think really brings a deeper flavor to this soup.
Well, there you go, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, we work good together. Good team. I'm sorry that Krista wasn't here, but she was here in spirit.
Yeah, she'll be back, and then we'll do some regular true crime to see, because I would love to have your take on the rapport building and everything, because this is a big club over the head where it's just here we are, it's fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see something teased out with you, but we'll talk about that. Do you want to plug anything before we end the show?
This weekend. Wait, is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. The live stream tomorrow will be the Joe Wonderler chat log. The dog, the pet lover, we'll say. And so that's that. I got that to plug. Let's all get together at my place tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll bring the popcorn. I want to. This is a personal, not a plug, but a thank you to usual co-host of the show, PJ. He sent me The Last Ronin, the big graphic novel here, and I can't wait to read that. So,
bitching, man.
Super thanks. So you can probably look forward to a review of this because it looks badass, and any type of remember the old X-Men storyline where it's Days of the Future Past and it's just Wolverine because everyone else is obliterated.
Yes.
I don't know what you would call that genre. It's like dystopian, like sadness porn, where it's like only one cool dude left and everybody else is dead.
Sadness porn.
Yeah, because you go like Old Man Logan. Everybody you knew is dead except for, and that's I think what's going on here. Maybe there's a genre for it, and I'm just not. I'm ignorant of it. But yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's cool. That's cool. Enjoy that.
Anyway, guys, thanks again for showing up. To everybody who came to watch, I appreciate it. And we will catch you on another one, next Friday, doing something. Oh, yeah, locales and stuff with PJ. We'll catch you then, guys.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Try to